What's up, everyone? It's your boy Tyler here from Future Leader New Podcast, and we have the amazing Josh here, who we're going to be actually doing something different. We're going to have a sit-down conversation from host to host, where we're going to be talking about mental health. As you know, May was the month of mental health, and we're going to be highlighting a lot of it in the next few episodes. And we're just going to have a conversation today. Josh, what's going on, man? How's your day going?
It's going very well. I'm really excited to actually to talk just us two because I don't think we don't get to do that very often, but I think it's actually um, kind of cool. So I'm looking forward to it, and we got a lot of content coming your guys' way, so I'm very excited to get into it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm actually in the Bahamas, and so if you hear any sound quality, that you know where I'm at. I'm in the tropics right now, and so it's something that it's good to actually be around family. Because family is the best thing. They're the ones who
That's
help
true.
groom you and put you in the right way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we're gonna be talking about what does healing look like in a job loss. That's a
Right.
big hot topic, Josh, and a lot of people are facing that in today's society.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I guess maybe a good starting point would be um, job loss, I guess, is very multidimensional. I think maybe a stereotype of job loss is that it's very you were bad at your job or, you didn't do your job very well. But I think there's actually a lot of different causes for job loss. So I think that's a good starting point um, in the discussion. What do you think?
Yeah, I think a lot of causes for job loss when it comes down to that because sometimes either the employer has not given them the opportunity to speak up, or either the individual did not learn a lot of the HR practices, hence why losing their job. And sometimes, unfortunate circumstances, sometimes the company goes a different way
Right.
and changes up its policies or which then removes the position. And sometimes that hurts, especially going through a job loss. And for me, I worked at Teamwork Cooperative as an employment support practitioner. And a lot of job loss has happened there where people are grieving because of hurt within the team and hurt within the company itself. So, yeah,
Right.
a lot of it. Yeah.
Yeah, personally myself, I've never experienced job loss, but I have, known a lot of people that have, and it definitely has uh, negative effects for some people. But I think maybe an important thing to consider when having job loss is are your needs attended to? Maybe is there something that happened to you personally that led to the job loss, or even the aftermath of the job loss? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you being positive towards yourself? Because you can definitely beat up on yourself after that. The financial burden and the stress of that, especially if you aren't financially stable, can be a problem. And I think are your needs being attended to is an important discussion to have with yourself. And putting in those in place if they aren't there. Um, Maybe journaling or, you know, doing something for your mental health, which is what we're going to discuss now. Um, is that going for walks? Is that doing whatever you do to better yourself? I think that's an important step too in the process of healing after a job loss.
And I think, Josh, sometimes people it's hard for them to not talk about themselves or not
Right.
talk about the grieving that they're feeling because sometimes they have to talk about it. And I remember as an employment practitioner, it's like that you have to let them talk about it, let them experience what they've been through in order for them to go through that grieving process. And sometimes it's hard. And I encourage people who's going to look into this episode, talk through it, but don't allow it to um, be longer that it takes because then it's going to hold you back and it's going to prevent you from thinking about future forward things as the way you want to go.
Yeah.
Yes, we acknowledge hurt job loss is hard. It's hard. I've
Yes.
never been through it. I've never experienced job loss, but being in the career development field, I've had to deal with individuals who have experienced it, and it hurts. It definitely hurts, and we acknowledge that. And we want to say that we're here for you, but we want you to also grow from this. We don't want you to take back or hold back yourself from future opportunities and all that good stuff. Like, what are
Yeah.
some skills? But like, what do you think are skills that people need when going through a job? I don't even think people know what are skills. I just put this random thought like,
Yeah.
what are skills that you should have
I think
through
that's a
that?
hard, it's definitely a hard thing to go through. I think, and a lot of the times also, I think if get, put say, fired from a job or let go or whatever, like I don't think you expect it to come. So I don't think it's something that you're prepared for necessarily. Um, but I think maybe one of the biggest skills would be like self-compassion, being able to still love yourself after something that you can, if you lose your job, you can very easily beat yourself up, I think. Um, but if you have that self-compassion and if you have that drive to continue, pursuing your goals or pursuing whatever and not getting down, I think that's probably one of the biggest skills you can learn. And that doesn't mean that that's necessarily easy to do. I think that's probably very hard to do, but I think it's a necessary step and necessary step if you want to succeed further on in your journey, I believe. What do you think? Think that I'm
Yeah,
close there, or?
yeah, that's good, man. That's spot
Mm,
on. I think also empathizing with yourself, your empathy skills, like
yeah.
empathizing with yourself, meaning that don't beat up on yourself. No, just make sure, but also making sure that you have a bit of organizing skills, organizing
Hmm.
yourself after going through the grieving process as the way you want to go next. Time management skills. I think that making sure that you um spend put your energy time wise on what's important, what you love to do. Like Josh said earlier, going for walks, like setting out some time for those walks and
Yeah.
whatever you love to do. Just nourishing skills. Yeah, I think you need your nourishing skills because you need to nourish yourself with
Hmm.
food. You need to nourish yourself. I feel for me, I would definitely nourish myself with some good fruits. In the Bahamas, they have mango, so I have a mango tree. So like I will
Nice.
literally get some mango and eat the mango and just try
Yeah, I love
to
mango.
just yeah, oh yeah, mango's so good, man. It's just it feeds the soul, feeds the
Hmm.
soul. Like yeah, I think that's yeah.
I guess another thing I was just thinking of when you were talking there is, I don't know the exact word for it right now, but I think being able to think critically about your life, and being truthful with yourself is also important. If you're let go, if you're fired, or whatever the case is, I think you have some semblance of why that was the case. So I think an important part of that is also to have some self-reflection, understand why that happened, and how you can better yourself. I think is also very, very key, because if you don't fix the problems of that quote unquote problems that you have, that a potential employer sees in you, then you're just gonna potentially have a higher chance of getting fired or let go in the next job as well too. So I think trying to fix your problems, but being compassionate with yourself, understanding the situation, and not beating yourself up about it. But I think trying to fix the problems is also key.
Yeah, not beating yourself up. I think that's like so important, especially when you say self-reflection. A lot of people don't know how to reflect. And for
No.
me, I've been doing that often. Sometimes to take that pause, calm down, um, try to put yourself in a space where you can breathe, you can exhale yourself, and just be open. I feel like your open-minded skills is needed as well. Just trying to
Yeah.
be open and being critical to think about, okay, what are some things that I could have done better? Because sometimes we
Absolutely.
always blame the organization, sometimes we always blame the employer, but we have to think about it like what could I have done better to move forward and what could I actually achieve more to better myself. And like you said earlier, Josh, journalizing.
Hmm.
Journalizing is. I actually started journaling a little bit on my phone. Like if I had a
Yeah.
thought or like if I had like a bit of an acknowledgement about myself, I literally write it down. I literally write
Mhm.
it down because like and I just started doing this because like I know myself. I know myself, and everyone knows themselves. I think that that's
Mhm.
a big thing. And once you know who you are and know your values, know your worth, you try to say, okay, was that my values of doing that? Was that was
Right.
that my type of energy that I wanted to perceive or I wanted to deliver to other people? Like thinking about that is just so important when going to self-reflection and putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Oh, oh, I think that's a big one. I feel like when going through job loss, like a lot of people do not put themselves in the other individual's shoe. Like,
For sure.
just not thinking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I
What do you think?
couldn't agree with you more for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like so big.
Yeah.
I think this is like so important. I feel like this is something that we can bring a guest on at some point to talk about job loss, maybe an employment practitioner, to learn some more deep skills. But this has been like so great, Josh. Like
Yeah.
I feel like we can talk about this all day, about job loss. But I want to say something to everyone. If you're going through job loss right now, be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself breaks. Give yourself healing process. Knowing that you have to give it all your energy on other things that's important to you, but make sure you're having yourself with kindness, hugging
Absolutely.
yourself with kindness and with love. What do you think, Josh? What do you got to say?
Couldn't agree more. Key points is just continue pushing. And whether that's trying to understand where you could be better, or um, just being happy with the situation that you have and trying to think positively. I think those are the key points.
Yeah. And that's a wrap, folks. We'll see you at the next episode. Thank you so much for sitting with the two hosts of this amazing um, podcast, and we have more for you to come. Have a great
Can't
day.
wait.